Hello, Sarah.
16 days into lockdown, and now.
Can anyone hear Sarah?
No, I can't hear her either.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Hello,
Sorry.
Sarah.
Yeah, we can.
Hiya, hiya.
Hear you.
So I pressed
You're
the
mute.
button. Muted myself. Thank you. Sorry, my bad. The bankers will be working, if they are working Friday, Easter Friday, they might not work on Friday. So think about the market from their point of view, or they'll be doing a half day on Wall Street. And this will mean the market will start to slow down between now and Friday, just so that you're aware. So the first thing, as you know, is we want to check Forex Factory. Now, there's nothing marked for today, but we have a lot of news coming up tomorrow, OPEC meetings. And what's happened today on the euro is I read something from FX Street that after 16 hours of discussions rather, the EU cannot agree on a collective policy to cope with coronavirus. So that's affected the euro, plus apparently a 6% contraction in the European economy. So you may have seen that if you're looking at things like Euro CAD this morning, for example, quite a lot of uncertainty. Tomorrow, red flag OPEC meetings, which as we know affects Canadian dollar. And you can see two lots. This is Paris time, you'll UTC +2. You see unemployed, two lots of CAD news tomorrow, and on USD and the euro. So major currencies today being affected because of those discussions, because of what's happening tomorrow. And then Friday, bank holiday, and the Swiss franc, New Zealand, Great Britain, and Canada. So and two lots of red flag news on USD. So you're seeing all this reflected in the market today and tomorrow. So once we've looked at Forex Factory, let's come over. If you're on the, I'm sorry I can't stream live into Facebook. I do apologize. I've learned how to do the settings on not having people be kept waiting in the waiting room. But I must have done something on the back end of my Zoom. I was trying to readjust the settings. I can't copy and paste the things I need to set up the live streaming service. So that's another thing I need to sort out. If you are in the 7-day free trial, then come into our financial freedom group. And in fact, I think I forgot to stream this in here. We don't usually have usually have free trial people on the Zoom because of questions and limited time. But I've had to do that today rather than hold up coming live. Let me just pop that in there for today, because we have had a lot of new people join. So that's it, that's fine. Just pop that in there, I forgot to do that. So now, once you've joined, you'll come into our main group, which is the Ninja Forex Traders. And I won't go through this in detail, but just to say, please watch Paul's introduction video. All this has been incredibly well thought through for you to make it as simple as possible to follow the steps. And come into the units, and please look at this one, which is where to find everything, including help. So this is a very, very good orientation video done by Robert Sugden and Bob Foster Moore. And it's got a little simple agenda, and it takes you through step by step where to find everything and how to get started. So that is key for you to do that. So once you've been through that and the units in our Ninja group, and then you will need to come into im.center, which is all the educational resources and the strategies and tools that we use. And again, I'm not going to dwell on anything in detail, but just to show you briefly where the units are. before we go on to the Harmonic Scanner. So down here on the left-hand menu, once you've logged in, you'll see the word Academies. Click on that, and then you will find different tiny little 5-minute videos. Just go through the 100 series on the basics of Forex to get a good foundation, and then use the series 200, 300 and 400 as a library if you want to find out about anything more in particular. And from here we go to strategies, which are the products, and we use Vibrata for BYOB. I can show you, I was helping someone this morning show them how to use the settings, get the Indicator Plus and use the trade alerts on that, but I use the harmonics, and I teach also the 25 to life. So if you come onto the Harmonic Scanner, this is what we're going to look at today. And let's see what's new. I use the hourly one, and you'll have a number of brokers down the right hand side. It doesn't matter which broker you're with or brokers. I've got several, some for demo accounts and some for live accounts for different strategies. Traders Way is the main feed, so I go to that one usually first of all, and here you'll see all the new scans. Now these scans are showing you where the reversal points are in the market, so that we know that we can get into a trade where it's drawn this D point up here. And you can also take the trade off the scanner here, so you'll see it's giving you a stop loss, entry, take profit 1, 2 and 3. So let's have a look at GBP JPY. Make sure down here you're in the same time zone. So check that it's correct, because they need to be accurate. So if we're drawing this as a 25 to life, this one hasn't yet formed 2 candles to the right. We'll just have a look at Euro JPY. That one's gone a bit too far. These have all gone. These have all, as you can see, they've started to work their way up. That's now hit TP2. So I think we'll draw this one so that you've got it ready for a setup for 25 to life, which just uses the Fibonacci. Now going back to the group here, I've got to remember where we've put this. I can't remember where we've put it. I saw Paul had loaded it yesterday. Pop, who has done a simple sheet on how to, here we are. No, that's Kevin's. There's a simple sheet which shows you how to save the Fibonacci settings on the Harmonic Scanner. I don't know if it's gone into units yet. Probably not.
Just there, right there in front of you now. No, that's it. In the middle on the right hand side.
Under recent group files, yeah.
Oh, fantastic! Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Brilliant. I haven't had time to do this yet, so there are your instructions. And if anyone needs any help, please post into the group. We'll help you reach out. So fib retracement shortcut, fantastic. So thanks to Pop very much for that. So I'm going to draw this on TradingView, because then I can show you TradingView, and it's where I do all my markups. So we're going to do 25 to life. And this is GJ, which is quite a fast moving pair. So we've got, if you look down here, you'll see a timestamp. So you just bring your vertical line onto the X point, onto each of these 5 points. And then you can see it's written with the month first, but we're in UK, so we do it the other way around. So it's the 7th of April, 7th of the 4th at 1400. And if anyone's looking at any pairs, or you want me to look at anything, please say. We can
Hi, Sarah.
take a look. Hiya.
It's Connor.
Hi, Connor.
I was looking at ADJPY yesterday. I was talking to you about it.
Yeah.
About the I set up the pitchfork and the quarter theory, and we did a 25 to life on it earlier.
Yeah.
And the 25 is, well, I've got a sell limit on it now for the 25 to life, but the 25 line is actually perfectly on a quarter theory line, so maybe we can take a look
Oh
at
yeah, okay. On AJ.
that. AUD JPY, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Let's I'll just write these points down. D point 8th of the 4th at 1300. So the points are X is 7th of the 4th at 1400, A the 8th of the 4th at 200. Remember to put yourself on London time. I'm on UTC +2. You'll want UTC +1. The B point, the 8th of the 4th at 0700. C is the 8th of the 4th at 0800, and D the 8th of the 4th at 1300. So if we come over to here, I'll leave that to one side. We'll have a look at AJ. I've shut a few of them down.
If they don't receive some of the funding by the end of this month, many of them are going to have to take drastic steps. I'm afraid that we would see an increase in the rate of business failure, and we'd see a lot of otherwise viable companies.
It's Sharon. I knew Sharon be causing trouble.
I was muted. Did I not mute myself? Sorry.
No, it's all right.
Sorry.
It's all right. I know I can play with you. AJ, here we are. So when you're looking at when I'm looking at these, I will start just to look at it on the 15-minute usually. I've probably taken off some of my, might have hidden some of my things. See, no, they're all on. Right, so you want to see, just get your bearings, which scan is it playing in? So this was the scan with the D point from the, this kept redrawing this one, 1500. If you remember, it started off at, yes, because it started off at 8 a.m. I got in it at about noon, and then it redrew up to there. So I think the point there,
Not cool, yeah.
I think the point there is just double check on your on the harmonic scanner that the point hasn't redrawn on any pair before you get into a trade, particularly where we find the markets quite volatile with quite a lot of wicks, quite wicky, as Sarah Jane would say. So just make a note to double check those things. So let's come down to the 15-minute. Now remember, with the market, it's the same pattern repeating itself. So whatever you see on the 1 minute is showing you what will play out over a longer period of time over the 15-minute, the hourly, 4-hourly and daily. It's the same pattern repeating itself. It's just you're seeing more candles and more wrinkles in it. And this is the pitchfork it's playing off, which is trend lines, so just with Fibonacci built in. So I use those. I just click those on the pitchfork. If you want me to show you how to draw a pitchfork again, it's absolutely fine. We can do that sometime. And then I come down to the 1 minute, because that's showing me the current momentum in the market, what's going to play out over the longer time frame. So at the moment, it's moved. It's moved out of the scan at the moment. So let's see what it looks like on here. Oh, it hasn't moved out the scan, just retraced up there. So where is it? It's moved out of that scan. Oh, I know why. Because I'm looking at the wrong pitchfork. Sorry. Let's hide that. That's the correct pitchfork. I think I put the green one on because of where price had been. You always pay more attention to the most recent. I was just trying. There we are. You always make the most recent scan. I'm just going to check that D point as well. I've got it at 1430, and I think it's now moved up there. So the thing about when you use pitchforks and scans is they have to be accurate, and then they will last forever. So that's 1400. So let's just have a look at that. There we are. That should be, you want the high to the low, so you want to move that onto there. You don't have to move the pink one, that's just showing you the shape. And if you go down to the 1 minute, you've got 60 candles on that time frame. So you just want to make sure that it is on the most recent one, otherwise your pips are going to be out. If you are using pitchforks, the pips are going to be out quite a lot if you don't get it accurate at this point. And we know the rest of it's accurate, it's just the D point that redrew. Just have to come on to, it's because I'm on Zoom, come on to move that up. There we are, that's it. And then lock it on so that it can't slip and you're good to go. So the reason I had that green one on is because of when I was in the trade yesterday and I wanted to see where it would affect price stalling out, because you can see it stalled out on this old pitchfork here. So that's a level, a line of support and resistance. As you can see, it was doing that back there as well. But the main pitchfork is the white one. If you're using levels like John Doherty does, that would be a line of support and resistance along here. It's the same thing when I use pitchforks. That's a level. There's a line of support and resistance where it's touched several times. So that would be a key area to tell you price might stall out again there. So it's the same difference. So what have we got going on here? It's not at quarter theory at the moment. So it had come up. I'm going to get rid of this one now because it's moved out of that one anyway. I'll just hide that. So it at the moment is, where's my bottom pitchfork there? So when did it cross over from there? I haven't looked at this one today. So what we've got going on here is I want to see when it did a break and a retest of the pitchfork. So it came up here. This is the long leg, so that'll be the 88.6. It's dropped down and touched. It's tested the 15-minute. This is the 1 minute EMA as shown on a 15-minute time frame, because this is the 1 minute one, the orange line, and they vary. So I'm just using a simple little trick here. So if I take a horizontal line and put it where the 62 line is at the moment, there, and just make that orange for you. There we are. Oh, let's make it pink maybe. So that it doesn't. So that is our 1 minute EMA on the 1 minute chart. I'll just put the text on here. One minute. So if we go to the 15-minute chart and I draw where the 1 minute EMA moving average is, I clone that and move it there. So that is our 1 minute moving average as shown on the 15-minute chart. Okay. Now, so you can see it's appearing there. So obviously it will vary according to time frame. If we come back to the 1 minute, just see if I've got it lined up properly. Can't quite see it because of where price is. There. And come back to the 1 minute. And you'll see it appears in a different place. So I use the plotting of that to show me as near as possible. It should really line up a bit better than that. I don't understand why it isn't. It might be the movement in the price, but really that 15, that's giving me the 1 minute is shown on the 15-minute chart, if you see what I mean, but showing it on the 1 minute, it should line up exactly. I don't know why it hasn't exactly done that on here. Okay, so I've drawn that as a 62, which is what this one is. It's measuring 62 candles on the 1 minute chart, times 15, which is for the 15-minute candles, and that gives me a length of 930. So if you want to put it on, you can see what the 1 minute's doing on the 15-minute chart when you're on the 1 minute time frame. Does that make sense? I hope to you. Hope I've explained that okay. So price at the moment is come up. It's tested. It's staying above the 62, but now it's dropping down. So if you were in this trade, I probably would have been out of it by now. It's quite a big pitchfork as well, isn't it? We've got how many pips? So is anyone actually in this for a buy at the moment? Is anyone?
No, I'm in it. Well, I'm not in it, but I've got a sell limit set on the quarter theory, as that's where the 25 to life
okay.
0.25 line is going to.
Right, it's a very big pitchfork, isn't it? It's 146.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
the 0.25 line on the 25 to life lines up exactly with the quarter theory.
Oh, fantastic. So that's at 60, 67, 500.
That's the one, yeah.
Right. So what's our hull doing? Because AJ is, so it's still green on the 15 minutes. That says price is still moving up. Just seems to have slowed down on its movement. It is an Asian session pair. So we could put, I'll put 25 to life on it. Let's see if I did have it down here. Did I take it off? Maybe I removed it. So let's put that back on. So if you're putting on the 25 to life, come up to the pitchfork and then you just ignore everything else. You don't need those. You just want this one called fib retracement. You can put a star on it to favorite it. So click on that. And then you want to put it on your D point, but I need to go back to the hourly, which is the time frame we did the analysis on. And that's the time frame you would take the 25 to life. Sorry, just get rid of that. Take the 25 to life trade on it. So this will be a good one. Thank you for that heads up.
Nice.
So here we are. So when we put the 25 to life on, we want the second candle from the left or the right, whichever is the furthest away from the D point. And that would be 1, 2, they're very similar. Which one did you use then? The one on the right?
I used the bottom of the right one, sorry.
Yeah.
The wick on the left one is just a little bit higher.
Okay, great. Yeah, they're very similar, aren't they? Lovely job. So take a, just so you can get your eye in. 1, 2, so you want 50% of the body of the second candle to the right. This isn't such an easy one if you're learning this strategy, simply because both the second candle to the right and the second candle to the left of the D point are very, very, very similar on the wick, on where the wick ends. Just change that to pink so you can see it, and then we'll put on the setting. So come here and I'll show you the settings, and put the magnet on, and then you want it exactly on your D point. So click on that and drag it down so that you're, oh, I changed the settings. I was going back to something else. Hang on, I have to do it again. I forgot. I need to save more templates. These are the settings that you want. You want 1 you want 0.25, and that's going to be in blue. That's the entry point we've been talking about, which is where we've got a sell limit set. The one which I've got in pink, but you can put it in red. This might be in black if you're using it on Harmonic Scanner, because it's got a white background, but obviously I'm using here, I've got the dark theme on TradingView. And then you just want the, take all those off. You want 0, 0, minus 0, just use the dash on your keyboard, 0.75, I've got that in green, that's going to be your take profit line, okay? So if you haven't got those settings, then you might want to take a screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and remember to use Pop's document. I haven't had a chance to go through that yet, so you can save the settings on your Harmonic Scanner. You don't have to move things over to TradingView. As you saw with this one, the D point redrew. I like to keep the scans because I use them from the past, and I just prefer doing all my chart analysis on TradingView. So once you've got the settings, we're now going to get the where's my oh, did I not tick it? Where have you gone? I want the 0 on. Where's 0? Oh, so it changed it back again. No, that's pitchfork. Come on to the fib. Fib retracement. Oh, I've lost my 0. So you can just stick it in 1, stick it in there. Got it on the wrong setting, sorry, that's right. 0 should be 0. I've got them the wrong way round. I want that's going to be my stop loss. 1 is your stop loss, 0 in white. That's your entry line, and your green is your take profit. So that should do it properly. There we are. So once you've got that on, you're going to have the 0 on that 50% line of the second candle to the right. Okay, so I'll take that marker off now. And there it is, going through there. So what is it that you're actually looking for on here? Once price comes off the D point, we want it to come down, break through the 0 zone, which is our breakthrough area, and then come back up and retest the entry point. So you should already be in this then. Are you in this trade, anyone? Because that's already, oh, it's from the third candle, isn't it? That's right, I remember now. The second candle forms part of the D point structure. Les went through it again with me the other day. So you wait until it then comes down. So we're still waiting for it to come back and trigger on here. And yeah, that's a beautiful entry because it's on quarter theory. So what is quarter theory? It's an aggressive line of support and resistance. It works on the 0s, the 25s, 75s, and the 50s. Here it's at 67.500. So it's a strong line. It'll act like a ceiling. It's a strong line for price to want to either try and break through or reject off it. So we'll write down our figures on this and then compare it to the Harmonic Scanner. So we've got, if we come to your left-hand menu and put on a short position for a sell, short means sell, line it up with your 25 line. Oh, that's a big one. There we are. So this will give you a stop loss of 67.673. Your entry, and I'll show you how to set a sell limit order. I'll just do it on a demo account. I've got that at 67.497. So, you know, that or quarter theory. I haven't exactly measured that with using the measurement tool. I suppose we could do that. 1, 2, it's just very small. Take that from the top of the body. It's just from body to body, not the wicks. 6.6, so we want 3.3 if I can get that accurately. It's at 3.5, so I'm going to leave it as it is. It doesn't make a lot of difference, and it'll show price just hitting quarter theory anyway. Then we want our take profit down at the green line, which is going to be 67.275, and that's 53 pips. Now you can see it's going to hit quarter theory and another pitchfork there, so that's a very good area of support and resistance. If it goes through that, and as we know, most of the scans, 89% of them are accurate, then it will want to come down to the next quarter theory level as your take profit 3. That'd be around about here on this strategy, 66.500. That's certainly the next level. So look out for those areas if you are if you are swinging it down to that level. So you'll have 67, and then watch out for the pitchfork where it will stall before it moves down. If it carries on moving down, 898. I'll just make a note of that as well. So that's that set up. You've got a risk to reward of 1 to 3. You've got a stop loss of 17.6. You can round it up or down. You just want it off that D point, and a take profit of around about 53, which is on that green, sorry, up here, the first one. I'll just keep it on there for your settings for the trade. So 23.4 pips at 67.263. I said 275, 263, put it there, 263. So what we'll do now is come to, I'll come on my demo account, pull up AJ here. Now, when you're taking an or doing a pending order, just come over. I don't know if you're on JFX or which broker you've got, but you can just right click on here, however you do your orders, new order. Make sure you've got the correct symbol, which is Australian dollar, Japanese yen, AJ or JPY. Check according to your account size, 2 or 3%. Use the FX book, or Mike Penn is documenting the units. He's created a simple spreadsheet for you, so you don't have to go onto FX book if you don't want to. So pick your lot size, say 50 cents there. Micro lots if you just started. If you're on demo, it doesn't matter quite so much. But we're not going to do market execution because we need it to hit that blue line. So you need to click on pending order. And because this is a sell, it's going to be called a sell limit, which is the maximum price at which you're prepared to pay to sell this pair. So you want to type in that price from the blue line, which is going to be the 67.497, 67.497, or you could make it 500. It's round about there, which was that quarter theory, 67.5, and then place the order. So you won't be putting the trade straight away. We're going to put our stop loss, so we'll put our stop loss in, which was 67.673, and we'll put our first take profit in at 67.263. And if I've got any of that wrong, please tell me. Right, so once you've checked your figures, you don't want an expiry date, place the order. I've heard the pop, that's taken it. And then you've got your figures down here. Now what I always do is I've written those figures down because sometimes I scribble things like we all do. So I'm just going to double check that I have done that accurately on what I've typed in here, because if you want to modify the order, so say you're in the trade and you can see it's a strong momentum trade, you don't want to cash out at 67.263. You can see it's stalled, but it's moved through that area down to that next quarter theory and pitchfork. So you want to change it to 66.700 thereabouts, or 66.898 where that pitchfork was. You can come onto here and just use the modify or delete order. You might be doing this on your phone. I tend to work at the computer, so, and obviously for purposes of doing this. So you can change your take profit level there. Just click on it and type it in to change it. At the moment, it's only telling me I can delete this order because it hasn't activated, but it would come up with a modify as well. Okay, so that's how you change the order. You can download the pipsometer to see the pips. It obviously hasn't activated, so it's not moving. And you can see price is still moving up at the moment. So let's just go back and have a look, double check. 67.3, entry at 497, and take profit at the moment of 23 pips, risk reward of 1.33 on that first level. But as we know, once it starts moving, bearing in mind what I said about Easter week, that the markets are going to slow down. So your next profit level will be down at 67 and down at that pitchfork. But you know, it just depends how much you see it moving tonight in Asian session. There you are. So you've got about risk to reward of 3 to 1 there if you take it down to that level. Okay, so thank you for that. That's a nice one to look at. That's a good trade. So I should be sending that out on the watch list later. You can see it's still above the 62, so that's acting as the shovel, still shoveling price up there. And we'll see what happens with that one. So let's come back to the harmonic scanner, because we were looking as well at GBP JPY, which has now started to move. I just wondered what the, let me just look at the what the scanners, just wanted to look at what the scanner's suggestion was for the trade. So that said, you can see how big the stop loss is using the scanner entry, and that's what I like about 25 to life. It enables you to get a much tighter stop loss, because if you take the scanner trade with that entry at 67.54325, round about there, you'd have a stop loss 541 of 68.3. That's a big stop, massive stop loss. It says 912, but that's just a pipette on the end, so that's about 90 pips. So obviously that takes your risk to reward right down. So the 25 to life is really good because you've got a much tighter stop loss. The scanner gave us an entry of 54.325, 54. So we're slightly lower down. We're working off the quarter theory. And then it gave take profit 1 of 263. And we've got 67.263. So we're going for a smaller take profit, and the scanner one 66.7 was our next line down, 0.27. So the scanner's actually given a take profit one really as an average between our first take profit a bit further up here and our quarter level theory down there, and then 66.898. So it's giving a take profit 2 and 61, 60, 66.5, 66.5. So we've got a quarter theory about here, round about there, scanners take profit 1, and then that's going down, right down. We didn't go down as far as that level for its take profit 2, take profit 3, but it is a big scan. It is expecting it to go. That's a lot of pips. I think it was 1,000, wasn't it? From C to D. sorry, 284. Don't know why I said 1,000. One of them's 1,000 that I was looking at. I think it was maybe a Euro USD one. So 284 pips. So the scanner's giving us a total of 4,325.54, round about there, 5.4, down to a take profit 3 of, that's 273, 163 and 97. So we're just playing in a small area there. So use your levels. Levels, you can look at your, look left to see right. You can see lines of resistance here where price has stalled out. That's what we mean about looking at levels. Or you can use the pitchfork. You can draw that on, and then you've just got a, basically all a pitchfork is a mathematically based trend line drawn at an angle. Literally that's all it is. And all you need to know about Fibonacci is that it is magic numbers that work. That's, you know, that's what it is, magic numbers that work, and work very, very successfully indeed. So I want to now move to, let's go, is that okay? Was that good? Yes, everyone understand that? Got any questions? Just shout. So we're going to look at this one, which is GBP JPY. And I don't think I've brought that up yet. So if you are in one correlating pair, be careful of, you know, getting into too many of the same currency in case they move in different directions. Where are we? GBP, JPY. So what we've got on the scanner is an hourly time frame. Check it's in the same time zone. I've drawn the coordinates, so we're going to just put that on our chart. I'm going to move to the hourly time frame, top left. I may already have it on here, I can't remember. So D point, 8th of the 4th at 1300. No, this is an old one. And that X point goes back to, yeah, so we need to be looking at April 1. So what I'll do is just take this off to tidy it up so we can see what we're doing. And we can see what trade we can get off this. Add that as an alert. It went off the other way. Just come down to your objects box, bottom left, if you want to change anything, remove anything. Just hide those. And you're good to go. Yeah, I'll get rid of that one as well. Okay, so we're on the hourly. Let's make that a bit bigger. We can see what we're doing. And we're coming up to the end of the hour. I have a golden rule. I don't enter trades 10 minutes before the hour end and about 5 or 10 minutes after, because you'll often get fake outs in the different direction. The banker's trying to make you think that you've done the wrong thing. And you find that's why you'll often see in that last 10 minutes it going, you know, in the opposite direction to the way that you're in a trade. So before we get on to Sharon's session, I don't want to hold her up today. Sharon's on next at 2 p.m. UK. Then Sarah Jane Cruikshank at 3 with her tea tantrums and trading, which is excellent if you're a beginner on the BYOB. Thoroughly recommend.
Not doing it. She's not well, so she's not doing that.
She's not. Oh, thanks for that. So, oh, well, I mean, I'm sorry she's not well, but go on. I was just about to say Sharon's excellent on the BYOB, so go on Sharon's for find some more trades. And then Les will be on tonight. He does 25 to life in the Harmonic Scanner, but he also does banker's strategy and institutional candles, smart money, maybe a little bit slightly more advanced. So we'll just find and plot this one. You're looking for highs and lows. This is plotting reversal points. This is a sell scan as well. So we want the X point up here. We're looking for the high point to low to high after low to high, and simple as that. Just copy and paste. So it looks like it's going to be one of these high points, and it's going to be right over here. I'm going to make that even bigger. And come to the left-hand menu, use this scanner sign here. It looks a bit like a star. And then if you've got the magnet on, it will go to the, you want it to the end of the wick. You do want it to be accurate. So that's at 1400. Now, I've clicked on it once. I've got 5 points held on the mouse. So don't get worried that it says A, not X, because the X is hidden underneath. So we're looking next for the 8th of the 4th at 2, which is going to be the next low. And there you are, the next low. Looking for the next high, which is the 8th of the 4th, 0700. So it's going to be that one. The next low, 8th to the 4th at 0800, there. And then the last one, the 8th to the 4th at 1300. So once you've, while we're here, as this is coming out quite small, I'll draw the pitchfork on. A lot of you don't use the pitchforks, that's absolutely fine. But for those of you that want to see it, there's the pitchfork up there. Click on that. You just want the plain one, the top one. I've got it as favorited. Click on X to see if you've got the magnet on. It will automatically go to the end. I like to have the latest scan in white. And then the only fiddly bit is that you do need to have your pitchforks very, very accurate, because then they work. Otherwise you'll find if they're a pip or two off, then it will go out over a period of time. The angle will get bigger, and that will render any trading completely invalid, render the pitchfork invalid. So how do you make sure it's accurate? Well, at the moment it's on the 1 hourly. You go back to the lowest time frame, bearing in mind that TradingView only goes back 2 weeks. So depending on how big the scan is, you may have to finish putting it on the 5 minute. And you can see, although it looked accurate on the 1 hour, you want it to the nearest. This is how you get precision entries. You want it to the nearest high point. In that case, it's going to be this one. And then I usually just pull that across, just so it looks pretty, looks the same, but it's not affecting the pitchfork. And you can see the A point, the same, needs to be there. And just pull that across, trying to do this fast so we finish on time. And this is off as well. So again, the nearest high point there. Here, nearest low point there. If they do look similar, just draw a horizontal line. You see which one is actually the furthest. And the last one, that should be there. Okay. And then once I've done that, I come back to the object box and I like to lock them on, because in the past they used to, I used to find I'd accidentally, moved some of them. And you can't go back, as I say, you can't go back further, so you won't be able to put them back on again. So this is now on the hourly. We were using the hourly time frame analysis. So we can't quite draw our 25 to life at the moment, because the second candle hasn't drawn, but I can give you an indication of it, of what I would be doing with this trade. So what I'm looking for on this, it's done. I love it when it does that. A break and a retest off the D point is the strongest entry. So once it's done that, let's see where my EMAs are. This is a slightly different strategy, but you can draw on your 25 to life, as I showed you on the last one. On the 1 hourly though, that's why the second candle hasn't drawn yet. So come down to the 1 minute, and I'll tell you what I'm looking for on this trade and the way I trade on Harmonic Scanner with pitchforks. So for the precise entry with a 10 pip stop loss, which you can also get on the 25 to life, Now, I know what you're going to say, Sarah. It hasn't exactly touched the pitchfork, but this is a 6.6 trillion market, and that is literally 1 pip away. I consider that a touch. This is not an entry at the moment because price is still above the 62, and as we know, and as we've seen on AJ, Australian dollar, you know, it shot up and it redrew. So, but it has rejected once. If it rejects again, this is what I'm looking for just to finish the session off. I mark up my chart 6 to 8 hours in advance. I'm looking for it to retouch and come down here. That's what I'm looking for on this trade, like that. Or, as we've seen on some of the things that have happened recently, it could do that, in which case it's a failed scan. It'll hit stop loss, and I'm not interested in taking a trade. And I'm only interested in taking this as a sell down as far as this median line here, and then I'll go for buys or sells. But until that point, I only take a sell for the maximum chance of success. And we're just coming up to the 3 o'clock for Sharon. I don't want to hold Sharon up. If you've got any quick questions, or you want to stay on for 5 minutes, please do. But that's what I'd be looking for on this trade. And you should find that you're, unless it shoots off the other side of that D point, then I'll be looking for this kind of position, which will be like that. And then I'll be looking to put a stop profit in as soon as it's got to 10 pips. And if it stalls out on that quarter theory, I will just close the trade and take the profit. If it carries on through, then I'd be looking to stretch that to about, that'll be about 25 pips, 25, 30 pips. Okay, so that's how I do my analysis very quickly. If you've got any questions, please ask, or you might want to hop off to Sharon's now, and we'll finish for today. So we've got the other trade. Thanks for alerting me to that. And this one is already moving outside there. See what it's doing on here. It's giving that at the entry at the moment, 8261, round about there. But as we've said, you need to be looking to see if it's going to, in fact, there we are, it's shooting up. Because what happens on the 1 minute will show itself on, and you can see the 62s pointing up. So it doesn't like that at the moment, in which case, fine, all well and good, nothing lost, just won't simply get into that until it sorts itself out or fails or redraws or whatever it decides it's going to do. So that helps you sort of not waste your time on the 25 to life. You know, that's why we've drawn up that strategy. Wait for the second candle to form on the hourly, to finish forming 2 candles to the left and 2 candles to the right. That forms the structure of the D point, which gives us the ability to put that Fibonacci on. So I'm going to stop sharing now. And thank you very much for joining. Has anyone got any quick questions? I don't want to hold Sharon up. I was mindful of time. Yeah, was that good? Everyone had a good day? Having a good day?
Thanks, Sarah.
You're very welcome. Nice to see you all. So I'll see you all tomorrow, and happy trading. Bye.